Good morning, everybody. This is Toucan Dragon, and welcome back to Digimon Rearise. So I know I'm a couple days late with this video, and some of you already decided to pull or not, but if you're still on the fence, then hopefully this video can help you out. Today, we're going to discuss the new step-up banner, featuring the guaranteed MagnaGarurumon and the new calm Cherubimon. These Digimon can be pretty good, especially MagnaGarurumon. I honestly think he's the better option between the two, and he's a guaranteed one, so with that said, this step-up banner is worth it because you're guaranteed to get him. But if you're on a thin budget and already have All Force, then I would probably skip this banner. MagnaGarurumon is a good counter for Brave Digimon, but going against anything else, he won't be at his full potential. So let's compare MagnaGarurumon with some good calm strikers we currently have. So let's compare his stats with Old Force and Calm Greymon. So looking at their HP, MagnaGarurumon has 5720, which is similar to our Calm Greymon here, 5720, but they both beat Old Force, which he has 5294. Now looking at their tech, MagnaGarurumon has 3920, while Greymon has 3520. So comparing the two, MagnaGarurumon has more tech. However, Old Force beats them. He's at 4309. So Old Force is one of the best, if not the best, calm striker we have in the game. Next, looking at the defense, MagnaGarurumon has the same defense as Greymon, which they're both at 1339, and Old Force loses to both of them at 1120. But Old Force is a glass cannon. Old Force will hit hard, but he cannot take hits. Now lastly, let's look at their speed. MagnaGarurumon has a speed at 37, Greymon has a speed at 27, but Old Force has a speed at 44. Next, let's compare MagnaGarurumon with a Digimon in his banner, Calm Cherubimon, and a free-to-play Calm Digimon that we have, Cherubimon. So again, we have MagnaGarurumon at 5720 HP, which he beats Cherubimon, who is at 5091, but he loses to Cherubimon, which is at 6860. Now look at their tech. MagnaGarurumon's tech, 3920, beats both Cherubimon, which is at 3305, and Cherubimon, which is at 3131. As we keep going down through the stats and the abilities, you're going to see that Cherubimon is actually more of a support, while MagnaGarurumon is more of a striker. Now looking at the defense, they all have the same defense at 1339, and then their speed, MagnaGarurumon beats both of them at 37, while Cherubimon is at 27 and Cherubimon is at 25. Now let's compare them with their abilities. To keep it even, we're going to keep everyone at skill level 1. So looking at MagnaGarurumon's main skill, you can tell that he is a striker, he is made to counter Gallantmon, and he buffs himself. His main skill is, he deals 340% damage to 2 enemies, and he basically ignores the shield and hurts the enemy, but also deals damage to the shield. So going against Gallantmon, he's ignoring his shield effect, dealing damage directly to him, while also weakening his shield effect, so your other Digimon could go in and deal more damage. And to top that off, he buffs his own crit by 30% for 2 turns. Now the downside of this is his cooldown, which is at 130 seconds. So looking at him, he's a striker. He is made to counter Gallantmon, and he could buff himself pretty good with that crit up. Now comparing him to Old Force does 280% damage to 3 enemies, but he reduces their buffs for 1 turn, while increasing his tech by 50%. So Old Force debuffs the enemy while buffing himself. Granted, yes, he's not doing a lot of damage with that 280%, but he's buffing himself and debuffing the enemy for you to deal more damage with your other Digimon. And then we have Greymon, which does 280% damage to 3 enemies, reducing their block by 30%, and increasing his tech by 50%. So kind of similar to All Force, but All Force is going to be better. And compared to MagnaGarurumon, again, he's mostly there to counteract Gallantmon with his main skill. Comparing his main skill with the other two, MagnaGarurumon's main skill I believe is kind of weaker, because again, he's trying to ignore Gallantmon's ability, but he is buffing his crit, so that helps him a little bit. Now let's look at their sub-skill. MagnaGarurumon's sub-skill is he does 2 10% damage to 3 enemies, and reduces their power by 20% for 2 turns, with a cooldown of 95 seconds, so it's okay. He's debuffing Brave Digimon. Now looking at All Force's sub-skill, 3 20% damage to 1 enemy, while debuffing the defense by 40% for 2 turns. And then Greymon, he does 2 60% damage to 2 enemies, and reduces their tech damage resistant by 30%. Sub-skill wise, it could go either way. I like MagnaGarurumon's sub-skill. I really like All Force's sub-skill, and Greymon's sub-skill is pretty good too. So, going down to the passive, MagnaGarurumon's passive is what basically shows he is made to counter not just Gallantmon but other Brave Digimon. His passive reads as, he increases all calm allies counter rate by 20% for 2 turns, and he deals 1.35 times damage to brave enemies, and he targets them more easily. Now what this means is he goes out of his way to target mostly brave Digimon. He'll, for the most part, ignore other personalities and go for brave, which is good right now for this month since Gallantmon has a buff all month, and Omegamon will still be run in teams because Omegamon is Omegamon. So with this passive, he's able to focus solely on them, weakening them so your other Digimon could come in and finish the job. Now, looking at All Force's passive, All Force decreases tech damage resistant of all enemies by 20% permanently, and regardless of speed, All Force will always go first with his main skill, unless your opponent has an All Force and has higher speed. There's that. And then lastly, looking at Greymon's passive, he reduces a calm ally's next 2 skill cooldowns by 30% for 5 turns, and he deals 1.3 times more damage to deft enemies, and he targets them more easily. So kind of the same thing as MagnaGarurumon, except he's focusing more on deft enemies. But he does have the slight edge in reducing a calm ally's skill cooldown 2 times by 30%. So yeah, you could kind of see what I mean here by MagnaGarurumon being good, but in certain situations. Lastly, let's compare MagnaGarurumon with Cherubimon. Now since these two are in the same banner, I'm going to buff them up, and let's compare them both at skill level 10. So MagnaGarurumon at skill level 10 does 520% damage to 2 enemies, and again he deals damage to an enemy and its shield, and buffs his crit by 30%. The difference here is his cooldown goes down to 115 seconds. Now Cherubimon's main skill is he does 520% damage to 2 enemies, increases calm allies defense by 25% for 2 turns, and has a 55% chance to shock the enemy for 2 turns. And cooldown will be at 110 seconds. So again, here you can see that Cherubimon is mostly a support. He'll buff your calm Digimon's defense by 25%. And on top of that, he has a chance to shock. So Cherubimon in general is a support, so this kind of shows his supporting side. Now looking at the sub-skill, MagnaGarurumon's sub-skill, he does 320% damage to 3 enemies and reduces their power by 20%. His cooldown also goes down from 95 seconds to 80 seconds, so you can fire it more often. Now looking at Cherubimon's sub-skill, he'll do 390% damage to 2 enemies and reduces those enemies' crit rate by 30%. And his cooldown goes down from 90 seconds to 75 seconds. So you can fire his skill more often than MagnaGarurumon. And Cherubimon could be a good Omegamon counter with that minus 30% crit. Now going down to the passives, again, MagnaGarurumon's passive doesn't change at skill level 10. He buffs your calm allies counter attack rate by 20%, and deals bonus damage to brave enemies and targets them more easy. Now for Cherubimon's passive, he increases all your calm allies block rate by 20% for 2 turns, and increases the maximum HP by 20%. Now this passive shows that Cherubimon is a support, he's here to support your calm Digimon, keep them alive on the field, while slightly debuffing your enemy. While MagnaGarurumon, he's here to do damage to brave Digimon, and to counteract Gallantmon and any other shield effect that may come in the future. Now with that said, the reason why I think MagnaGarurumon is better is because right now we do have a surplus of good brave Digimon. And soon we are going to get Impildramon, Dragon Mode, and Fighting Mode. Now Dragon Mode is brave. I don't know if Fighting Mode is going to be brave or tenacious, but if it's brave, then we're going to have a lot more brave Digimon out that are pretty good. So MagnaGarurumon could help counteract those brave Digimon. However, a lot more Digimon will come out in the future that are pretty good and they're not brave. So MagnaGarurumon will be good for this instance, probably just for this month. And once this month is over, he's going to be probably shelved when more Digimon come out that are not brave personality. But he does have a buff this whole month. So it's up to you if you want to pull for him or not. If you want to perform really well this month, you can. I mean, like, it could be a good investment if you get him with the right plugins and you get high enough in the rate in the rankings, then you'll get more rubies for the next banners. But if you're on a budget and you already have All Force, I don't think he's that worth it, because All Force is more future proof than MagnaGarurumon. With all that said, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think MagnaGarurumon is worth to pull for? Or are you better off just skipping? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please click on that like button. And while you're at it, you should subscribe because it's completely free and it helps out this channel a lot and it will mean a lot to me. Please. And don't forget to ring that bell icon so you can be notified when we post more videos. This has been Toucan Dragon, and if I can, you can too. Bye guys.